Hi, welcome to Golden Years. I'm Lori Betts. This month I am interviewing Laura and Amy from Medina County Office for Older Adults. So come on back and we're going to hear what a fun-filled summer they have planned.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, welcome back to Golden Years. I have Laura Toth and Amy Marzick from the Medina County Office for Older Adults, and we're going to chat about all the exciting things that are happening this month. Hi girls, thanks for coming on Golden Years.
Thanks for having us here.
And I know you've been on the show in the past, but every year it's a new year and a lot of changes and a lot of good changes and a lot of happenings for the seniors. So we want to get them out this summer. So tell me what's going on, what's new and exciting at the Office for Older Adults?
Well, I don't know so much about new and exciting, but we do have a new round of picnics this year that are taking place in Medina. We have picnics in the patio. They take place twice a month, so we have them on July 7th and the 21st, and then again on August 4th and August 18th. So we have, for $4 for a senior, they get a picnic lunch, barbecued. The menu varies a bit with sausage sandwiches, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, that kind of thing, chili dogs.
But all picnic food.
But all picnic food. And then we have live entertainment. So it's a really nice time. We have a pavilion that was built about 4 years ago by an Eagle Scout where the entertainment is, and plenty of tables with umbrellas and benches, and we have a really good time. We're looking forward to those events.
And rain or shine, they go on.
Rain or shine. We do have a dining room that sits about 80 people. So knock on wood, we've only had one time where we've had to push everything inside because it was a rain out, but usually we can get everything going and the barbecue going and people are there.
To have fun.
Absolutely.
And they do need to RSVP?
No, they can just come in. They can just come in if they decide to come. So we try and get people notified. There are flyers at our Brunswick location and in Medina. We try and keep BAT notified. So hopefully it gets on the billboards and different ways to let people know about the events.
Okay, so transportation. Mm-hmm. So they could take the transportation and get them to the patio?
Yes, absolutely. They would be able to call and make a reservation for transportation for an event like that. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And hopefully you have beautiful Fridays.
Yes, here's hoping. I agree. So far, so good.
And Amy, do you have any outdoor activities for the seniors this year?
Not necessarily outdoor activities. While the rec center has the concerts throughout the summer, and you can find the schedule for the concerts in the newsletter in the senior spot.
They're on Sundays, right? Sunday afternoons?
Sunday evenings 6 to 8, I believe. And those are outdoors, so you need to bring a chair and a blanket. And like I said, refer to the newsletter for the schedule is in there and who the performer is. I think it's twice. I want to say it's twice a month.
Okay. They used to be well attended, so are they?
I think so, yeah. I think people appreciate having the concerts outside there. Mm-hmm.
It's a neat evening. You know, you just go an hour, and just have a good time.
Mm-hmm. I also collaborated with the library this summer to offer a summer senior series. The July one is going to be at the rec center, and it is called Taste of Summer. It's July 24th, and we have a chef coming to do a cooking demonstration with squash, and then of course we'll get to sample the things that he makes. And the library is going to bring over some cookbooks and set up a cookbook display at the rec center so that we can see what our favorite chefs are publishing and find some new recipes. so that when the farmer's market, when we have all this wonderful produce from the farmer's market, we know what to do with it. We know how to fix it and
Wonderful.
maybe find some new favorite recipes.
And Amy, you have been at the rec now for over a year, Brunswick Recreation Center, and I'm only hearing good things.
Good, thank you.
I hear there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of things to do. You just went on a bus trip to the Indians game, and I'm sure that was well attended.
It was sold out. It was a full bus, and in fact, that trip sold out. Gosh, I think like 2 months before the trip even went. It sold out pretty quickly. All of our bus trips have been very well attended. They've all been selling out.
And that is awesome because the seniors want to get out. They don't want to drive. Who the heck wants to drive downtown? So this is their chance to go out with their friends and have a nice afternoon.
Absolutely.
How about casinos?
Of course. We definitely are at a casino every month, but we do have a lot of trips that are for non-gamblers as well. But the casino trips are also selling out. We actually are going August 1st and 2nd. We're going to Niagara Falls on the New York side. And that
Seneca?
trip, yes, the overnight accommodations are at Seneca, and really that trip can appeal to people that don't want to gamble as well, because we're just doing Niagara Falls. There's not a second casino on this trip, so on the second day, we're there in Niagara Falls all day. So if you're wanting just to tour the Niagara Falls area, you have time to do that as well. But the accommodations are at Seneca, which I've not been myself, but I hear is really a beautiful.
Okay, it's not
casino
sold out, right?
accommodations.
It's not sold out yet?
Niagara Falls is not sold out yet,
Okay,
but it will
seniors,
sell out. It's
I've been
close.
there many times. Mom and I used to always go there maybe like once a year on the bus trip. Wonderful, because everything, you could go to the casino, then if you don't want to, you could wander around the hotel, nice restaurants.
And there are credits too. You have I believe it's a $20 food voucher that comes with the trip and $50 in free play.
And that's
I
a
believe.
lot.
So you have some credits too.
Okay, so check out the dates. Give them the dates again.
That trip is August 1st and 2nd, so it's one night overnight.
Okay.
And then
And that goes so fast.
Oh,
you
it
know, you get
does.
to the casino, by the time you get to your hotel room, then you're overnight and got to jump on the bus.
Yeah, what's that trip about? 6 hours? 4 hours?
I think it's roughly 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly 5.
Okay.
Unless you make that extra stop or it's up to the leader.
For the Niagara Falls trip, I'm sure there will be a rest stop. Yeah, that's a long trip. August 22nd is Mountaineer Casino. September 19th is Rivers Casino. In October, we're doing a neat thing. We're going to Columbus, but it's both a gambling and non-gambling trip. What we're doing is we're going to Columbus, we're gonna stop at the casino, drop off the people that wanna do the casino for the day, and then we're gonna go and do a tour of Columbus. So we're going to the Ohio State House, we're gonna do that tour, and then we're gonna go over to German Village and have lunch at Schmidt's, and then go over and tour the Franklin Park Conservatory, which is beautiful. And then at the end of the day, we'll stop back at the casino and pick those folks up and then head home. So whether you want to go to the casino or just take a tour of Columbus, that trip is
That's a great idea.
good either way. And that trip is October 17th. And then November 28th, we're going to Wheeling Casino. And after our time at the casino, we're gonna leave the casino, go over to Wheeling Park for their Christmas buffet. And then on to Ogilvy for a guided light tour.
That's neat.
And that trip is November 28th.
God, you guys are busy.
And you're taking reservations for all of them?
Reservations for all of those trips are open now. You can sign up for everything.
You have the year planned.
Yeah. Well, we release the trip book in January every year at the expo. The trip book will come out for the whole year. So all of the trips are laid out a
Now,
year
do
in
you
advance.
plan those, or do you have an agency that plans them?
Jenny at the Medina location, she and I
okay.
kind of powwow and put the trip together. And this year we've been using Great Day Tours to help schedule the buses and things like that when we need assistance. But
They also do a really good job of asking the seniors what they want. Like, what kind of trips would you like? Trying to get that feedback and incorporate some of the things that they want to do. This whole idea of gambling and non-gambling trips, there's a lot of people that have said, I don't gamble, but I want to go out and do stuff. So they came up with this idea, well, why can't we drop the gamblers off and then do something else for the people who may not want to gamble and then come back? And I think it's so far, that's new
awesome.
this year, and it's been successful.
You might have to do 2 buses.
We did one earlier in the spring, similar concept, where we went to, was it in Indiana and Kentucky? Is that the state line we were on? But we took a bus trip, and you could go to the Riverboat Casino for the day and stay there and play for the day, or you could go to the Noah's Ark Museum, which is at the Creation Museum. The casino and the museum were in 2 different states, like it bordered a state line. I think it was Indiana and Kentucky, I think. And that was an overnight trip too. So everybody did have the overnight accommodation at the casino, but you know, on that second day, you could either stay and gamble if you wanted to, or you could go to the museum. So what we do is we come up with 2 different prices. There's a price if you're just going to do the casino, or there's a price if you're going to do the museum or the tour or whatever else we have planned.
Good idea.
So.
That's awesome. I think you're well liked.
I hope so. I really love my job. I tell people that all the time. It's really important to me to build authentic and genuine relationships with everybody. Like, I really like all the seniors that come to the rec center. I really make it a point to get to know everybody. And so I think that's really helped. Not just having, I think it's really helpful to have a consistent, familiar face at the rec center. For seniors,
they want a go-to person.
Yes.
I think that's really important, but then just to take it a step further, I think because I've built relationships with people and they know me, though, you know, if somebody has a problem, they're comfortable coming to me and saying, is this something that Office for Older Adults that can help me with, or, you know, who do you think I should call? Or so it's beyond helping them with their daily recreational needs and making sure the programs are going. You know, I'm also a good source for referral. You know, Office for Older Adults can help you with that. Let me connect you with so and so, or
It's that collaboration.
Well, and what's really good, this being our 2nd year in Brunswick, the first year we didn't really have a budget to do a lot of extra activities, although the city graciously helped us out with many things that we wanted to do by paying for food for certain things, or they really worked well with us. But since we had the Senior Expo in January, that gave us a little bit of budget, and that budget goes towards activities that we want to do for seniors.
That's good.
The city pays us for a contract, you know, to help out with Amy's salary and stuff, so the money from the expo goes for activities for seniors. So whether
As
that
it
be,
should be.
absolutely, as it should be. So we're able to have parties or have like mini concerts or just different activities that we've done. Even we're like trying to build up our decoration centerpieces, stuff that we just didn't have, that now Amy's like, oh, can I get this? And then I'll keep it and be able to reuse it. And I'm like, that's wonderful, because we plan on having future activities. I think some of which you might talk about, but yeah.
Real quick, before we take a quick commercial, the bus system, the transit.
Yes.
Is it still?
It is.
Up and running
It
and
is.
no issues?
The transition to Medina County Transit was really a controversial topic in the city of Brunswick, but that has happened. Things are going well. There's been a few bumps in a row that we have been able to help seniors get figured out. The cost in 2017 for seniors in Brunswick remains $0.25 for the loop, and in 2018 it will be free.
No way.
Yes. So if you're 60 and older and registered with our Office for Older Adults, then you will be able to ride the Brunswick Transit Loop for free.
Terrific.
Yeah. So we're taking sign-ups, and we continue to meet with people and get them all signed up for transit and ready. And the curb-to-curb service, like to the doctor and things like that, that remains unchanged, and it's not a new system for people to learn, and it's going very well.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and hear what else is happening.
We need a claim number?
When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
You're watching The Bat.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome back to Golden Years. This month I am interviewing Laura and Amy from Medina County Office for Older Adults. We already talked about the wonderful bus trips that are happening, and we're going to hear more about that in a little bit. But I need to know, let my viewers know, what is the Office for Older Adults and what great programs you have for them.
Well, our mission at the Office for Older Adults is to keep people aging in place, because people want the opportunity to grow old in their homes. So we want to try to provide services that help make that happen. Our biggest service in the community, I would say, is our home delivered meal program. We deliver about 160 meals throughout the county. I always say from Hinckley to Homerville and everywhere in between. We deliver meals to people in need. There's no cost for that program. We ask for donations. You do have to be age 60 and over and have some kind of disability where you're not able to cook your own meal. But that is a service that's provided 4 days a week. So Monday, Tuesday. On Tuesday, 2 meals are delivered to cover Wednesday. Then we also deliver Thursday and Friday. So we have 6 different routes throughout the county. Our drivers are trained. They are gatekeepers, so we're knocking on the doors, making sure people are home. We don't leave meals. We deliver them in hand to people.
And that's a plus in itself.
Absolutely.
Someone knocking on the door, making sure they're okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely, and many times it's the only live human face they will see in a day or sometimes in a week. Some people are very isolated, so it's their job to make sure that they're okay. They see the same driver every day, so the driver can say, Mrs. Smith is not looking well today, or maybe we should follow up, call their emergency contact, and again, somebody has to be there. We need that face-to-face contact to know that the senior's okay for that day.
Great. And what else is happening?
We also, as we discussed briefly, provide transportation services. Again, that's a service that's for people age 60 and over. That's the only criteria. So anybody in the county that's 60 or over is eligible for our transit programs. So as well as the loops in Brunswick, Medina, and Wadsworth. We also provide subsidies for the curb-to-curb transportation. So if somebody needs to go to the doctor, or needs to get groceries, or go to the bank, get their prescriptions, come to our agency, we would pay for that trip. That's also a really popular program, and that program's up about 25% this year. So people are utilizing the transit system, which we really like to see, because it's a wonderful service.
Okay, now aged 60 to 65, is that well used?
Yes, depending on their level of ability. It's really more about their level of ability and sometimes affordability to be able to operate a car if you're talking about transportation. Sometimes it's the procedure they're having at the doctor. I can't drive today because I'm getting an eye procedure, or my eyes are going to be dilated and I don't have any other options. Well, you're signed up with us. We can take you to the doctor and pick you up later, and you can know that you'll be safe.
Wow, that's awesome.
It is. It's a great. I'm humbled by the people we serve. It's a great service to provide to people that really deserve it.
It's so well needed. I mean, even if you have children are working.
Yes, absolutely. Medina County has kind of come under this population boom with seniors, and we have, as you know, in Brunswick, we have senior housing coming up, and a lot of people that live here are bringing mom and dad here to age by them, so they can be close by and check up on them. So that's kind of the aging trend. It's really interesting to get in, just do a little statistic. From 2000 to 2013, the general population of Medina County grew about 15%. In that same time period, the senior population in Medina County grew 70%, 70. So that's just a big population boom. And part of that's the baby boomers, and part of that is moving people into the county. So.
Yes, and like you said, in Brunswick, I mean,
yes,
buildings are popping up everywhere.
Yeah. One thing we've done, or continue to do in Brunswick, that's with the nutrition program, we also do it in Medina, is a congregate meal program. So in Brunswick on Wednesdays and Fridays, Office for Older Adults provides meals for people at 11:30, and they come in and are offered a congregate meal. Again, the criteria is being age 60 and filling out paperwork, and then they're welcome to sign up for the meal. And then on Mondays, every Monday at Brunswick, there's a lunch and learn program. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Every Monday at Brunswick, there's a lunch and learn program.
Is it well attended?
It is. It is limited to 45 people, since a full lunch is served, and also just space. 45 is what fits comfortably in that room that we use. And it's every Monday. It's at 11 a.m. You do sign up in advance because it does always fill up. And every week it's a different, somebody different is sponsoring the lunch, and there's a different topic offered every week, ranging from a health topic, sometimes it's a special interest topic, sometimes it's
Going to be fun too?
sometimes they're fun. I actually just arranged a speaker. It's not until December though, but somebody's going to come in and talk about the health benefits of chocolate. That's fun.
That's a good
we
idea.
to sign up.
Yeah, really, yeah.
We had a beekeeper, like for instance, we had a beekeeper come in once and talk about beekeeping and honey and candles, and so sometimes it's just like a special interest, fun
Last
thing.
year on Halloween, they had a
Ghost hunter.
It was on Monday. Halloween was a Monday. It was awesome.
So we had a ghost hunter come in and tell ghost
How
stories,
neat.
Like local ghost stories about this is what I found in Brunswick. It was great.
things that are haunted in the area. So that was fun.
What an idea. That was a good idea.
Southwest General Hospital comes in once a month. It's always, I shouldn't say always, it's usually one of the doctors will come in and talk about a specific health issue. So lots of interesting topics. I try to mix it up and you know, so that the same thing isn't offered over and over. But yeah, that's a very popular program.
Good. And what's coming up for you in the fall? Activities?
So something that we started this spring that will continue in the fall was collaborating with Brunswick High School to offer a senior dinner theater. So what you do is you go over to the high school early before a show, and we offer a sit down, we serve you a catered meal, a dinner prior to the show, and then we walk over to the auditorium and see whatever production they have. They have a musical in November, and then a play in February, and a musical in April, I think. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Sounds right. And it really was fabulous. We had this last April, we had 57 guests come.
It was wonderful.
That is awesome.
So it's a nice thing for seniors to be able to get out. A lot of them would sign up with their friends. Some people signed up individually and made friends. So it's nice either way. And it also supports our music program at our high school too.
Exactly. And I'm sure they appreciate it.
I'm sure the kids were very pleased to have all of those people in the audience. And there's a lot of talent there. Like a lot of the folks that came to dinner theater came in the next day and said, Amy, I couldn't believe the talent. Those kids are, they're so good. It really knocked their socks off. It's a great show. So,
and as well as the drama department, like the last one where we had the 57 people, we had a string trio from the orchestra while they were eating dinner.
Played some dinner
It was
music.
wonderful.
So we've had really a lot of fun with that. So that will continue in the fall. Of course, it'll be according to the schedule at the music department's schedule of when the production is, but I believe it'll be a musical in November, I think will be the next one. So that information will all be available in the newsletter, the senior spot. Always pick up the senior spot, whether it's the summer concerts or the senior dinner theater. Another new thing I am planning to start, September is what I'm targeting for. I want to start doing senior socials. I'm still working on it, so I don't have a lot of details to give you today. Again, you'll have to pick up my newsletter. But you know, I'm envisioning either live entertainment or a DJ and just some refreshments and dancing, and I'd like to try to do it in the fall and the spring.
You could probably find some local talent.
Oh, sure.
Sure. So, you know, that's something to look for. You'll want to pick up a newsletter to see when that is and get more details on that.
So the newsletter, I want to interrupt you. The newsletter doesn't get mailed or anything. It's not in the newspaper. Was it?
No, you can
In the
get it
past?
online.
Online, okay.
Through our website is mcooa.org, and there is a special button that you click and it'll take you right to the Brunswick newsletter. And then there's one for the Medina newsletter as well.
Okay.
And then the senior spot is also linked to the City of Brunswick page too. If you go to the City of Brunswick and look for the Recreation Center, then I think then there's a tab for senior programs, which will take you to the senior spot also. But you can get a senior spot in print at the rec center. They're right at the front door, and they're also right next to the snack window. So they're very easy to find. I try to take them to the library also and leave some over there. So you can always walk in and grab one of those to see what's going on.
And your trips and your theater,
The upcoming trips are in there. Senior dinner theater, when that program is out, that it would be in there what the show is.
Lunch and learn topics.
The lunch and learn topics are in there.
And none of these, like the caregivers might have to bring Mrs. Smith, but is any of them restricted for age?
Well, I mean, all the programs are
But
made
you can
available
go,
for
like
older
mom and daughter
adults.
can go on a bus trip or even to the theater. Or do you, when it fills up, it fills up? Okay.
Correct.
In the fall, I also try to celebrate or recognize in some way the holidays, try to do something special. As Laura mentioned, Halloween last year happened to be on a lunch and learn. So, we had a ghost hunter come. Well, and we had a Halloween costume contest as well. So
the
we
seniors
had
dressed up?
It was
They
fun.
did.
There's like 10, I think, that dressed
I think
up.
it was 14.
Oh, was it? It was great.
And my understanding is they'd never had a costume contest there before. So for a first attempt at a costume contest to have 14 people participate, I was really, really pleased. And I gave away prizes and it was really fun. So I'll definitely do that again this year. We'll have some kind of Halloween party with a costume contest. Last year at Christmas, I did a holiday luncheon and we had a gift exchange and caroling and a lunch, and that was really nice and very successful. So I'll do that again this Christmas.
You have some great ideas.
Yes, she does.
That is awesome.
And I already mentioned the senior socials. So what else? The Brunswick Senior Expo, save the date. That's Friday, January 12th. Last year was the first time that we organized it. And we had 350 people come through, so I was pretty pleased with that. 'Cause my understanding is that it had been lower in the past, so I hope that this year to grow it even bigger than that and to have more vendors than I had. Like, I hope that it just keeps growing, so I'm excited for that. So definitely save that date.
You guys are busy.
We are.
Is there anything in particular you guys want to leave with the viewers?
I just wanted to mention that as of, I think, May, we have a Facebook page. So a lot of our events are covered on that Facebook page. If you just search Medina County Office for Older Adults, it'll come up. So Amy in Brunswick and Jenny in Medina and myself, we post different events, whether they're upcoming events or things that have already happened or are currently happening. We try and post pictures and let everybody know what's going on, and that's been really successful.
Really?
Yes.
By the seniors?
What? Yeah, we have over 200 people following that.
That's
so even if
awesome.
the seniors aren't the people necessarily that are using Facebook, their caregivers are or other professionals in
Correct.
the community.
And they pass the word.
But there
Or
are
their
some
children.
seniors as well. Yeah, or their children.
Or their children, and they say, hey, why don't you go to this or look into this?
But everything we talked about today can be found on our website. And again, that's mcooa.org.
And Amy, are you, do you have restricted hours that you are physically in the building?
I'm
or-
there Monday through Friday from 9 to 1.
Okay. All right. And they could just search for you, or
They can just walk in and see me anytime they want. If they'd like to call me, they can call the rec center and be transferred to me, or they can call my direct number, which is 330-416-3680. I don't call myself. So
Well, I'm glad you joined the rec center. That is awesome.
We're
The
very
seniors
happy.
want the go-to person, and you have such a wonderful personality. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
they eat you up.
a little bit.
They need to be spoiled. You
Yes.
know, when they're
They
that
do.
age, they want to be entertained.
They
want to be
deserve it.
spoiled. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on Golden Years this month.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for letting us come here.
And it's so neat to hear all the exciting things that are happening. So keep up the good work. Thank you for joining us this month, and we will see you next month.